Hello. I just want to say, first of all, we have this place in Tennessee. It's called White Bison, and it is all of their locations except one that I know of. Two. They're located inside of gas stations. But the other two freestanding locations still have like a convenience store area like a gas station that's located inside of it. I have never found a coffee that I like more than the ones from White Bison. I will have so many people fight me on that, but just wanted to do a little shout out to White Bison. And there's one specifically in my neighborhood that is like the best service, the best everything. So highly recommend. And if you live in a different state, would highly recommend you partnering with these people because they are so good. But today I wanted to hop on and talk about, that's so gross, I just pulled hair out of my hair tie. But who doesn't pull hair out of their hair tie? I'm sure some of you don't, but even our son, we put his little hair up in a man bun and we still pull hair out of it all the time. So my friend Danielle is a hairstylist, and she has given me the facts before about how much we actually shed. It's a lot. None of that has to do with what I'm talking about today. So me and my husband, we came from very different backgrounds, very different cultures. He's Ukrainian, I'm American. We came from different like life experience. We came from just a lot of different places in life. And are you going to sleep, Toby? So as you know, for those of you who don't know, on my channel I usually, my son is crawling around while I make these videos. And he looks so cute. Let me go show you. You're gonna go to sleep, Toby. You're gonna go to sleep. Alright. So back to all of this. Also my hair, it was straight. It rained, so now it's looking a little dreadlocky. That's just how it's gonna be today. So me and my husband came from very different places. We learned very different ways to like address conflict and work through things, and all the anything you can think of. We were pretty much different and are different in the way that we like handle it. So for those of you that are in the same boat, I just want to say like there's definitely hope, because even though we're not where we want to be, we are so much better than where we were. So very thankful for that. And today I'm like, ooh, very thankful for that. But like some days I'm like, oh my word. So I was working with this girl the other day, and her friends, their roommates, she's not a roommate with them. So she's like looking at the conflict that they're going through as like a third party kind of, but still very involved. And she was like, I just wish that they would both understand that in all of these different arguments that they're having, there are two sides and that both can be true. And what she meant by that was like, one of the girls was like, oh my word, like my roommate has her brother come over and stay for the weekend when she's gone to like watch the dog, but that makes me feel really uncomfortable. And then the other girl is like, I have him come over and watch the dog because I know that my other friend has a life and I don't want to like pressure her to have to watch this dog. And so I think there wasn't like communication that that's what was going to be happening, and like there were just a lot of things. But this girl I work with was like, I wish that one of them would be like, oh yeah, I see that that's like uncomfortable for you if my brother's staying there for the weekend when I'm not there. And I'm sorry about that. And also, I didn't want to burden you with like having to watch the dog. And then if the other girl was like, oh yeah, I see that like you didn't want to burden me with having to watch the dog, and it's uncomfortable for me. You know, like there's a both and to that situation. Both can be true. And it just like hit me all of a sudden. And I was like, okay, so most of the arguments that me and my husband have, both can be true. So I can be like, yeah, you really hurt me when you did this. And also, I see that you did this because of blah, 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 blah. And then he can be like, oh man, that stinks. I see that I hurt you. And also, this is why I did it. Or vice versa. He can be like, why did you say that to me? You know that always makes me frustrated. And also, like, but I know that you're coming from a good place when you say this, but next time let's like say it differently. And then I could be like, oh man, that stinks. Yeah, I know that frustrates you when I say things like that. And also, I need you to be understanding of why I did that. And another thing that she said that just like blew my mind, she said to say phrases like, I love you, but you're really frustrating me right now. Instead, you should say, I love you and you're really frustrating me right now. Because to say I love you, but it negates everything that came before it. So it adds doubt to your love. And then, like in other situations, that is understandable, but I still need you to know that I'm hurting. Instead of saying it like that, that's understandable, and I need you to know that I'm still hurting. And what that does is that creates room for trust to be built, and for both statements to still remain independent and true at the same time. Whenever you add but, it can just negate either one of those statements. So I just thought that was mind-blowing. Thought it might be helpful to some of you, whether you're in a marriage where I think every marriage, you're coming from two different places. No matter if you literally grew up on the same street with a family that went to the same church and you have the same amount of siblings and whatever, like you are still growing up two very different lives. And so in whatever conflict you're experiencing, realize that like you're coming at it from two different places, and like thinking the best of the other person in that situation. So anyway, that was just very, what is that called? That was a revelation for me. I was about to say revolutionary. I guess you can say revolutionary too, because I feel like we live in a culture that is like only one person can be right in this argument, and that is you, you know? And that's not always true. So let's try to be understanding of each other, and I hope this was encouraging for you. All right, I will see you later, and I hope that you watch some of my other videos, interact with my other videos. I hear everyone saying like and subscribe. If you don't want to like or subscribe, it's totally fine too. But I feel like that's the YouTube ending now. Like and subscribe down below.